Canada. We need to talk about mobility. And we need to talk about what really happens when a Canadian loses the ability to move freely, function independently, or navigate daily life without pain, struggle, or fear. If you are an amputee, a stroke survivor, someone living with paralysis, chronic illness, MS, Parkinson's, a spinal cord injury, or you're supporting a family member with reduced mobility, you already know the truth. Nothing about this system is easy. Nothing about this system is clear. And nothing about this system feels built for you. The Restoring Capability series exists for one reason: to restore your capability, to restore your dignity, and to restore your independence without confusion, without runarounds, and without being punished for your age, your income, or your circumstances. Chapter 1. The reality Canadians don't talk about. Across Canada, mobility and disability supports are supposed to help people live full lives. But for many adults, especially those between the ages of 30 and 75, the truth looks very different. Programs that work beautifully for children fall apart for adults. Modern prosthetic technology exists, but funding rules are decades behind. Home modifications are essential, but often you're left to pay thousands out of pocket. Wheelchairs and accessibility devices are needed for daily living, but the repair systems are slow, overburdened, and inconsistent across provinces. And if you were born before 1971, the Federal Registered Disability Savings Plan Program, one of the most powerful disability tools in Canada, is closed to you forever. For many Canadians, disability supports don't just fail to catch you. They push you deeper into stress, fear, and financial uncertainty. The Restoring Capability series is here to break that silence, to name the gaps, and to show every Canadian a clear path forward. Chapter 2. What restoring capability really means. Restoring capability is not about overcoming adversity or pretending everything is fine. Restoring capability means something far more practical and far more powerful. It means having the ability to move, to function, to access your community, to work if you choose to stay independent, to reduce pain, to get repairs and replacements without stress, and to avoid being punished financially just because you have a disability. Capability is not a luxury. Capability is dignity. And this series exists to help Canadians reclaim it. Chapter 3. The gaps we're going to fix together. There are 5 major gaps affecting millions of Canadians. In this series, we're going to address each one clearly, calmly, and without bureaucratic language. Gap 1. Cost confusion. Nobody knows what mobility devices, prosthetics, wheelchairs, home modifications, or adaptive vehicles actually cost across Canada. The information is scattered, outdated, and hard to compare. Gap 2. The funding maze. Every province has different rules, different forms, different requirements, and different timelines. It should not take 15 phone calls to get basic answers. Gap 3. The adult disability gap. Canada has strong early life programs, but adults between 40 and 75 face some of the harshest barriers in the entire system. Gap 4. Home and vehicle accessibility overload. Ramps, lifts, rails, bathroom modifications, transfer systems, and adaptive driving supports exist, but the process is confusing and often unaffordable. Gap 5. Fragmented information. No Canadian should need 6 websites, 3 coordinators, and months of waiting just to learn what supports they qualify for. The Restoring Capability series is going to fix these gaps with clarity, honesty, and calm, step-by-step guidance. Chapter 4. What you will learn in this series. In the Restoring Capability series, we're going to walk through everything Canadians need to know about mobility, function, and long-term independence. Here is your roadmap. 1. The real cost of mobility in Canada. prosthetics, mechanical knees, microprocessor knees, wheelchairs, scooters, power assist devices, repairs, maintenance, liners, sockets, and accessibility upgrades. 2. What's actually funded and what's not. Federal supports, provincial programs, charitable help, trials, tax credits. The truth about ODSP, PWD, and RDSP. And what to do if you fall into the age-blocked or asset-blocked group. 3. How to plan for 5, 10, and 20 years. Long-term mobility plans, budget templates, cost projections, and sustainable solutions, province by province. 4. Tools to reduce stress. A province quick check grid, assistive tech maps, repair timelines, annual planners, checklists for new amputees and new mobility-impaired Canadians, practical guidance for families and caregivers. This series is designed to give you clarity, confidence, and a plan you can trust. Chapter 5. Who this series is for. This series is built for every Canadian who needs mobility or functional support. If you are an amputee living with paralysis, recovering from a stroke, managing MS or Parkinson's, facing a neurological condition, or adapting to age-related mobility loss, you're included here. If you are a caregiver supporting someone you love, you're included here. If you were born before 1971 and cannot access the Registered Disability Savings Plan, you're included here. If you rely on disability income or support programs anywhere in Canada, whether your province calls it disability support, income assistance, or a permanent disability designation, you're included here. That includes Canadians receiving Ontario Disability Support Program, Alberta, Assured Income for the Severely Handicapped, Saskatchewan Assured Income for Disability, Manitoba Disability and Health Support Unit, Quebec, Social Solidarity Program, Nova Scotia, Disability Support Program, New Brunswick, Disability Support Program, Prince Edward Island, Support for Persons with Disabilities, Newfoundland and Labrador, Disability Income Support Program, British Columbia, Persons with Disabilities Designation, Yukon, Supplementary Allowance/Disability Supports through Yukon Social Services, Northwest Territories, Income Assistance Program, Persons with Permanent Disabilities Category, Nunavut, Income Assistance Program for Persons with Disabilities. And if you're navigating home modifications, vehicle adaptations, prosthetic replacements, wheelchair repairs, or new mobility technology, you are included here as well. This series exists to support every Canadian the system forgets. Chapter 6. What comes next? In the coming weeks, this series will release deep dive videos that break down every part of mobility and functional disability in Canada. Here is what's coming next. The true cost of a prosthetic leg in Canada. What's funded versus what's not. The adult disability gap and why no one talks about it. The National Mobility Money Map. Same leg, 3 provinces. The truth about mechanical versus microprocessor knees. Assistive tech you may have never heard of, but should. What to do first if your mobility changes overnight. How to build a 5-year mobility plan without stress or confusion. And how to protect your independence long-term. Every episode will be Canada only. Every episode will be calm, clear, and practical. Every episode will cut through the noise and give you what actually matters. Capability is dignity. Clarity is power. And no Canadian should face mobility loss or disability without a roadmap. You deserve support that makes sense. You deserve answers without runarounds. You deserve independence without fear. Subscribe for the next steps in this Canada Only series. Canada Only. Start Here playlist on the channel.